Alice Madness returns. If you are here, you might already know what's it, and no need for introduction. I'll just remind you that the original game has a lot of DLC dresses with special effects. Actually, my goal is to make all versions of Alice as a doll, and we are slowly getting into that. Some of them you can see on the screen and also in my Instagram, linked one I will leave in my bio. Right now, we will focus on the Cheshire dress. My name is Lou, and today me and my husband will show you the whole process of the Cheshire Alice creation. First, about the base. The base is Melody from Monster High series. For the wall sculpting, I'll use the green stuff 2-part epoxy putty. You cut 2 pieces and mix them. Make sure to use protection while mixing it, especially if you are sensitive. Don't be forgetful like me. So, the main tool I use is metal sculpting tool. They are quite old, but pretty useful still. Also versatile because of different sizes. I start with the neck because the main rule in sculpting for me is to start from the top to the bottom. Green stuff has 90 minutes working time until it becomes harder, so I'll do neck now. In a few hours it hardens and I can add something to that again. I always use reference when I do cosplay or portrait dolls, and sometimes I check if I go accurate or not. This material is pretty sticky and I use water to smooth it. Otherwise, it will stick on my tool easily. Also, I make small gray threads and add them into sculpting, which should imitate ribs or rings. Small tool is the best one to sculpt organic-like surfaces. The key is blending or trying the best to blend the material into the plastic doll body. Shoulders are intended to be movable, so I made them smaller on actual shoulder joint side. Yes, the connection is visible, but it is a doll, not action figure, and most parts should be excessive and shouldn't linger on the move. Cheshire Alice outfit is dress that became the flesh, or flesh that blends into the dress. You also can notice that horseshoe that's not the necklace but the part of the body. This is the reason I'm so obsessed with the Alice at all. Details are amazing and on point. I even have the art book. Yeah, the one that cost a lot now on eBay. That I've got about 8 years ago and never regret spending money on it. What's the most difficult in sculpting? I think it's to be careful to what you've already made while sculpting other parts. Sometimes I need to reduce a part I've just made. Embarrassing, yeah. But that's life. You can't be perfect in everything you do. Starting doing something you had on your mind is the main advice for creators. If you don't start, you'll miss. That's it. Of course, the sculpting might not be 100% accurate to the game, since the base model isn't accurate, the size, and etc. But I'm doing my best to replicate the look. Sometimes I feel that it's going wrong, but actually, all you need is just trust the process. Since the material is green, it might feel a little weird at the start, but after all, it should be just right. The most satisfying was to sculpt the spine and ribs here, favorite and best part of the whole job. As you saw, I had two dolls on my working table and at the start. This is because I actually have to sculpt this doll twice because she was ordered twice at the same time. The ribbon in that dress looks like the pelvic bowl. Sculpting two parts separately was a necessity due to skirt and tail that were added later. I didn't have a chance to film the routing process, and this is not something exclusive, so here's the other part.
Hi, Romans here, and I took the camera to show the painting process. Usually I use acrylic paints by Vallejo game color and brushes in different sizes. First I cover in all sculpted parts in grey tone that is similar to the doll's skin tone. It's the easiest part of painting process and the most important one. The base color should be applied in thin coats. You can do it multiple times actually. Just make sure to thin your paint before using brush. This type of job doesn't require a small brush, medium would be just fine. Second part is dry brushing. Double check if your brush has a lot of paint on it or not. And if it does, remove it by wiping on a paper or other dry surface. After that, as you can see, I'm applying the slider color to protruding parts. This way you can make a sculpture looks deeper. I also have to make 2 copies of that Cheshire, so next part is adding a blush. I use soft pastel called Lulu, it's pretty pigmented and not dusty at all. I apply pastel in recesses and little soft brushes, perfect for that. By adding the shade, you can control the depth of your figure. As the video follows, it's starting getting together. Imperfections and sculpting could be the treasure to one-of-a-kind piece that we make. Face up usually starts with pencil sketch. I use only Derwent watercolors for that because it's vibrant and bright. After making a sketch of eye and brows positions, I start filling eyeballs with pure white. Don't be discouraged by that, it's the only start in preparations. Actually, I prefer to use brush instead of pencil, so I trace the gaps of eyes and begin with face tattoos. The main rule is to have a steady hand. You can achieve this by practicing a lot. By the way, I have lifelong experience in drawing and I've studied a lot, so dedication, practice and talent will make the perfect result. But eyes of Cheshire aren't white, as you remember. So I add the Citadel yellow shade from Citadel color paints. I carefully add it from corners to center. Layering is again the key, and I'm focusing on corners to create a glowing illusion. After that I use pastel again, now for lips and eyeshadows. As being said, adding shade is creating shape of object, so we can leave it without that. Final touch for the face is a little line on lips and liner with acrylic paint again. Here is the result. We didn't film the skirt painting and tattoo drawing on the body, but now you can observe the whole finished look.
By the way, the background book is that official art book I was talking about. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like if you like it.